Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It's your boy Marvin. I'm just going to play a clip of a video which I think is very, very important to put out there. The second suspect was revealed. The Jay disappearance takes a dark twist with new evidence. This is by Wax and Filter, but I just want to bring up a point which he made. I'm just going to play the video first and then comment.
I think the chances of Jay being alive is extremely slim, but the chances of answers are extremely high. Personally, Iob and Jay's friends, Lucy and Brad, need looking into more. They definitely know more than they're leading on. I'm certain that one of these people definitely has some more information. I'm not saying they're involved in Jay's disappearance or pointing the finger. However, how does one person just vanish with no traces of evidence left behind? Whoever has done this is well trained and has experience. Not a single piece of evidence at all left behind. This is done by a professional, in my opinion.
Listen, it was either done by a professional or they are all together, and it could be Jay also involved in it. Some people believe that they're doing this for a money-making scheme, but
look, that's a possibility. In Wax and Filtered, what he just said, and the other chap talking on the video. The thing is, I think if Jay was hiding out, they would have found him by now. If he's still on the island, I think the police would have found him by now, due to all the intelligence, I think. The problem is that there's not enough evidence to say Jay is still on the island, although Lucy's couple of places she stays at were searched. And I think the police have done their general job kind of properly. Could he have fallen? I think if he had fallen or cut himself, he would have been found. So this does tell me that it has a criminal element to this case. And does it go back to him a couple of years ago, basically, where he beat up another kid, which made a lot of news as well earlier on in Jay going missing? Does it seem like a setup? Somebody who planned it must have been a professional, because it just seems odd, the way, the path that Jay had took at the end of the day, as though everyone except him was in on the game.
some people believe that Jay is actually dead, and Brad and Lucy know the actual truth, but they're not revealing the truth because pressure is being applied by other people in that area. I don't know, this is getting crazy. We're getting more information by the day, and as we get more information, I'll be updating every single one of you, bro. We might as well be doing this. This is interesting. We hope we find Jay Slater, but I'm actually curious to know what's happened here, and I'm gonna just keep creating videos on this till we actually get to the bottom of it. Make sure we hit the like button, do subscribe, all of that, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.
So yeah, it's odd. There's a second clip which I also wanted to speak out. Basically, for, you know, more people need to speak out who know what's going on and just say the truth. It'll help us a lot. There is a part 2 of a video. What I've found has been taken down, but I managed to get a clip beforehand, so I'm going to put it up and see whether it does tie in with the criminal activity in this case. Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It's your boy Marvin. Still, nobody can seem to find Jay Slater or know the story of what really happened to him. There are maybe 10 roads we can actually go down to see whether we could come up with answers that people seem that we can't seem to find. It's because he's nowhere to be seen. His phones supposedly have been found, but you know, there's no real proof of that, apart from papers are actually saying it. I don't know whether the police have really... I've been out for most of the day, so I don't know whether the police have actually said that. It has been found, and then they can obviously look into what information they can get from that phone. But if someone could text me any information about the police finding a phone and that they've actually confirmed it, then let me know. But the second part of the video was going back to the Tom Hilton, that he was attacked by Jay's mates, and Jay was a bystander egging them on. There's a possibility, we haven't written it off, that it could be a revenge attack. This video was put on someone anonymous who put this up. And also there's information online that sometimes people talk in prison and it comes out on the roads and it ends up on TikTok or YouTube. So that's a connection and something to think about. We just can't write off things that sound far-fetched. And it's something that I'm going to be looking into a little bit more, dig in to see how true this could be. Because it just seems like a masterminded plan to actually get him over there and get him drugged. I think the watch may have been a decoy. Many people are saying that. The phone also could have been a decoy as well. Many people have said Lucy May, Ben Hargreaves are not telling the truth. Why did it take Ben Hargreaves so many days or weeks to come out and give a statement? Lucy May, we couldn't see her eyes and her face to really see whether she was authentic in what she was saying. It doesn't add up. Do I think it was a setup? There's a possibility it could be. Do I think it's drug related? That's a big possibility. They're only the two really things I think that we can actually put out there. Did he steal drugs, or was there a problem before him stealing drugs out there at home back in England, and then it all escalated in Tenerife where they could basically try and set him up? I think that makes more sense. Let's get back into this video. I'm going to let it play all the way through and then I'll comment at the end.
It's really starting to look that way, doesn't it? Theory from an anonymous account has recently gone viral in the past couple days.
Jay Slater assaulted Tom Hilton really badly with a gang of lads. Tom Hilton's dad could never let this drop, even though his son demanded let things just be. Jay would often brag about the assault every time he was out and about in Rishton. This upset some friends that both Tom and Jay shared. A friend of Tom's dad who was in prison heard about the assault. His name was Ayub Qasim. Ayub is a notorious gang member and drug dealer. He has big connections and promised he would get vengeance for Tom. Whilst in prison, Ayub masterminded a perfect plan for when he was released and recruited a team of people and enticed them with big money, some of who were very close to Jay and in his trust circle. Ayub was released and wanted the revenge to take place at an event such as a concert or a festival where plenty of witnesses would be. Ayub, his friend, Lucy, Brad, and 2 other men were involved in the plan. Part 1 of the plan was that over the next few days, get Jay absolutely wrecked on whatever was available and fill him with free drinks. Ayub and his friend would befriend the group and build massive trust with Jay, complimenting him and laughing at his jokes. Lucy and Brad would have to act like they never knew Ayub. Part 2, the night in question, Lucy would get Jay wrecked, then leave the venue early, getting as much attention as she could, and making sure enough people seen her go home. Then she would post Snapchats of herself stating, "early night," to leave a paper trail. Ayub and friends would then cause a distraction outside the venue and throw a fake Rolex watch to the floor supplied by Ayub. Ayub and his friend would encourage Jay to grab the watch. Then Brad would say he's heard rumours, it's an Albanian gangster's watch, and Jay needs to leave ASAP as they're searching for him. Meanwhile, the other two unknown men who also hired a second car have stolen a boat. Ayub, his friend and Jay all jump in the pre-hired car whilst Brad leaves and informs the other two men that they are on their way. In the car, Ayub instructs Jay to take images of the watch on his phone and show his friends back home, making him brag that he stole a watch. Foolishly, Jay does this.
If the greatest trader to have ever lived showed you openly how he trades, why would you do the opposite? Well, that is exactly what you are doing. Let me prove it to you in 10 seconds. This is Paul Tudor.
The two guys with the stolen boat have to delay things as the police are coasting the area for an unrelated issue. They tell Ayub to chill somewhere for a few hours until the dust settles. With nowhere to go, Ayub decides to hire an Airbnb, but uses an alias name of Ayub Abdul and then heads straight there. It's an hour's drive away and he only books it for 2 hours, which raises suspicions. Once there, he waits for the signal of all clear from the boat boys. He then tells Jay that the Albanian gangsters are tracking Jay's phone and convinces him to give the phone to Ayub. He tells Jay that he will drive the phone in an opposite direction to confuse the gangsters and that it's unsafe for Jay to travel with them, but not to worry as they will come back for him. He then tells Jay to knock on a random door and ask for directions, but once given directions to start walking uphill in the opposite direction and they will come back for him. He said this is in case the gangsters ask locals if they have seen Jay. Ayub and his friend leave the Airbnb and set off back home. Once back where they are originally staying, they desperately gain attention on purpose to place them in the right place at the right time. They then instruct the boatmen with a burner phone to collect Jay and finish the job. Jay is collected and placed on the boat. Ayub gives Jay's phone to Brad, who then makes fictional calls to himself and Lucy, and also Snapchats with photos from Jay's gallery to friends back home. The phone then is taken to the hills, turned off and destroyed. Everyone returns home. They think they have committed the perfect crime. The 30k GoFundMe was a distraction, as was the watch. This was a long-awaited, well-planned revenge attack, but hiring the Airbnb was not in the original plan. Is that their downfall?
Yeah, and to me, parts of this sort of add up. I don't necessarily believe that Ayub would commit a crime on behalf of this person named Tom's dad to enact revenge, but it is sort of interesting that in 2021, Jay Slater was a part of a gang who attacked a man named Tom Hilton who survived, and this anonymous account believes that Tom, or Tom's dad, might have been trying to get his revenge by getting Ayub to do that for him, and also, you know, Jay's friends. So it sounds to me like this theory goes that they got Jay so out of his mind at the NRG Music Festival by plying him with copious amounts of substances so that they can get his guard down and kind of kidnap him to get his revenge and take him away on a boat. And if I do some digging here, there was a boat from West Africa that took off an hour after Jay was last seen, about 5 kilometers away from the area he disappeared. So you can see here in pink where that boat disappeared from, and it's exactly the area Jay vanished about an hour after his final phone call to Lucy. So this boat turned off its location immediately after departing. And someone actually tracked down the CCTV footage from that area and saw a group of men with flashlights or torches on the dock. Then a car pulls up and they appear to take something out of the car, and a gang of them run into the boat together. So people are wondering if this gang may be the group of criminals that took Jay. And a TikTok has gone viral of someone photoshopping blue light onto the steps of the Airbnb.
Right, I'm going to leave it there, but if this case is resolved, don't be surprised if it's something along those lines. It could only be one or two things. He got himself, don't forget he was only out there 3 days. and he got himself involved in drugs. Apparently, this is what we've heard in 3 days. Did he lose drugs and he's got to pay someone back? But why would they kill him? Because they could actually just use him, or that GoFund money could release him. Did he fall? I think that the police would have found a body by now. He couldn't have gone that far off the beaten track. And his dad and mum's out there and brother looking for him, with other professional searchers as well who've come out to help. YouTubers, TikTokers have been out there to lend a hand. So there are people still looking. And I don't think the police have given up, but I do think the police know more than what they're letting on. But I do think that we have to take this story quite seriously. The source it come from, he didn't give a name or when it was out there. But what you got to remember is that people talk in prison. It then comes out on the streets. Then it ends up on YouTube and TikTok. Don't be surprised if it could be an elaborate setup. Yes, it seems a little bit over the top, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was true. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment and support the channel, because this video has been coming up a hell of a lot lately, and people are going down the same road on this one.